27 minutes ago, I didn't even want to get on this bike. I didn't feel like moving. And now, I want to keep going. I want to go faster. I want to keep moving. An object in motion stays in motion. Someone come pull me off this bike. I got an empire to build. I got stuff to do. I can't be on the bike all day. Let's go. Motion creates emotion. Let's go hit a push workout. The theme of today's video is cardio, and really don't feel like going to the gym right now, but we're going to go. Don't feel like going at all, but we're still going anyways, because like The Rock says,
I heard this quote the other day that I want to share with you guys. Now I'm paraphrasing here, but it goes like this. The person who goes to the gym
every single day,
regardless of how they feel,
will always beat the man who goes to the gym
when they feel like going to the gym. What I love about that quote is it's just this anchoring philosophy of, yes, being the hardest workers in the room, but also, probably more importantly than that, is just this idea of pushing past the fatigue and us doing the daily consistent shit that we don't feel like doing.
Whoever said that quote, it's particularly true for our scenario here. It's all about that daily discomfort, that consistent discomfort, you know? Like today, I didn't feel like doing cardio, but we still got on the bike and sweat. It's crazy how much of a difference cardio makes for your mental state. Before, when I had that hoodie on, I was dragging to get this cardio done. I was like, man, I'm all cold. I don't feel like moving. But now, I'm ready. I got that energy. Motion creates emotion. I'm ready to build this empire and keep going and carpe diem. So cardio, just for mental state alone and building an empire, that's a top-notch benefit right there. And got the cardio in, and I got into it. Like Tony Robbins says, motion creates emotion, right? And like I said on Insta, when I filmed a story on the bike because I was doing my cardio earlier, make sure you're following me on Instagram. I said that right now we're filming on the bike in my mom's basement, and 3 years from now I'll be filming myself doing cardio in a Fire Miami pad with a Lambo in the driveway. Doing cardio on the bike in my mom's basement right now. 3 years from now I'll be filming myself doing cardio in a fire pad in Miami. Nothing's gonna change but the views, baby. Consistency. It's all about the consistency, the daily consistency. Nothing's gonna change but the view, right? Now, I wish it wasn't like that. I wish we didn't have to get uncomfortable to become a ripped, veiny millionaire that drives a Lambo and lives in Miami. But that's the way it is, or perhaps I should be appreciative for this matrix, because then everyone would be a ripped millionaire that lives in Miami and drives a Lambo, if it wasn't about the uncomfortable journey on the way there, which I am ready to face day after day with my daily uncomfortable tasks. So, with that being said, it's push day. We're doing pecs, triceps, mid delts, and front delts. And the reason why I don't throw rear delts in, since we're doing shoulders, the reason why I don't throw rear delts in is because they're hit on back day during rows. So, figured we might as well make it a nice push day, and since we started giving calves and abs their own day, we don't have to do that now. We don't have to usually do push abs, but now we can focus on push. Feeling nice and energized, right? Well, not energized, but I'm feeling like I have fuel in my system from some fire hash browns with eggs earlier. So why don't we get out of our comfort zone? It's also uncomfortable to film in there with the tripod, but we're gonna do that. So let's get out of our comfort zone with a push workout, shall we? And here we are with chest day, starting with cable flies to pre-fatigue the pecs before we move on to dumbbell press. I start lower, from a lower angle on this one, kind of try and target the upper chest a little bit more. slow negative, a nice stretch, and then an ossive contraction and squeeze at the top. Now let's move on to dumbbell press. Some people do dumbbell laterals, and they do that whole pouring the cup thing, you know what I mean? But I don't feel it as well in my mid-delts when I do that. It all depends on your own body physiology, right? So I do thumbs up. Find out what works for you. Maybe you like to do thumbs up. Give it a try. Or maybe you feel your deltoids when you're pouring the cup. I feel my deltoids with my thumbs up. So I'm going to keep doing that. One of the benefits of cardio, which is the theme of today's video, is an increase in appetite. I know my appetite is always roaring after I do cardio. And without an appetite, how are you going to eat a mountain of food to get bigger? If you're not having the appetite that's ravenous enough to be able to get down the amount of food that you need, well then, that's a thing. Obviously, you see me getting fucking jacked. How would I be getting this way without a ravenous appetite? So how are we going to get big without an appetite, right? If you don't have an appetite, if you're not getting enough food, people aren't going to accuse you of being fake natty or asking you if you're natural, like they do to me, because I have an appetite and eat enough food. A quick little flex mid-workout. My triceps are feeling nice and stimulated from that. The mind-muscle ossive connection on this straight bar is fire. For a while I was doing the rope, but occasionally I like to switch it up to create some new neuromuscular pathways. So that's fire. And this post-workout shake was one of the big motivations for getting to the gym today, and I'm excited for that. I wasn't in the mood for the post-workout shake as I was making it before the gym, but just like exercise, I knew that I'm not in the mood before, but once I start doing something, I'll get into the mood. And now I'm in the mood for a coconut water, vanilla whey protein, farm fresh milk, white rice, and turbinado sugar post-workout shake. So, that being said, that was a fire push workout, and why don't we see you on the next scene? Let's get a shirtless set in the middle of a commercial gym. It's pretty busy in here. No shirts, wait, shirts allowed. No shirts not allowed. But we're still doing it to get out of our comfort zone. That was a fire push day. Let's go get this post-workout shake in. The well-deserved post-workout shake. It's my favorite part about the workout. This is what I think about when I don't feel like going, but then I realize that after the workout I'll be feeling good, sipping on a sweet milkshake that tastes like dessert. Wow. Kind of reminds me of Steak and Shake. I don't know if any of you are on the East Coast near Florida region. It's like Florida's In-N-Out. They have fire milkshakes. This tastes like a Steak and Shake milkshake. So, I'm gonna enjoy this on the ride home, and I'll see you in the legendary Mom's Basement. For those of you who don't know, I live in my mom's basement, and one day we'll be living in Miami with a Lambo. We'll be jacked, we'll be millionaires, we'll be successful in fitness. But today, on day 106 of this journey, Going back to the mom's basement, but we're in the right place at the right time. Let's continue talking about this theme of this video, which is cardio, by the way. You know, it's funny. I'm sure a bunch of people are looking at me like, why does he have a tripod? Because I stick out like a sore thumb in the gym. You know, I don't like blending in anywhere I go. I'm here to make some noise. And it's funny, they're looking at me like, why does he have a tripod? And I'm looking at them like, why doesn't he have a tripod? Why doesn't he have a tripod? Why doesn't she have a tripod? Why are they building multi-million-dollar personal brands like I am? But I guess we're all different, you know? More for me. I'm passing the gym right now in my Kia. About 3 years from now, I'll be passing the Miami gym I just worked out in my Lambo, reverberating throughout the building. Just that deep hum of that Italian sports car. I'm excited for that, but I'm still grateful for the Kia and in this present moment. A quick note regarding cardio: don't touch the handlebars on the bike. If you're touching the handlebars, you're relaxing your postural back muscles. However, if you let go of the handlebars, your postural back muscles are getting a workout. And I'm always thinking, how can I optimize my posture? So when I'm on the bike, no handlebars, lean forward. We want to have good posture and be flexing our back and our core. Now, I'd also like to give a quick disclaimer. Notice that this video is titled something along the lines of I started cardio. I have not been doing cardio for years. I just recently started. I feel like the infinite intelligence has assured me that it is beneficial to do. Think about this. Think about two people in alternate dimensions, right? Same situation, same person, Peter Miller. Peter Miller in one dimension doesn't do cardio. Peter Miller in the other dimension does do cardio. Fast forward 35 years. Who do you think's gonna have more muscle definition? Who do you think's gonna have more energy? Who do you think's gonna have more health? The Peter that did cardio every day or the Peter that doesn't do cardio? It only makes sense that it's healthy for the body to get the heart rate pumping and to get oxygen flowing throughout your body. Speaking of which, let's see what 6-time Mr. Olympia champion Dorian Yates says about cardio. Don't just take my word for it.
You need to do a lot of endurance training. If you want to be a strength athlete and build muscle, your training needs to be geared towards that. But a small amount of cardio exercise is good for general health, and it's good for recovery in between sessions because you're pushing a little blood around the system and oxygen and getting rid of waste products.
Getting that blood flow going, getting rid of waste products. Now let's see what 6-time Mr. Olympia champion Chris Bumstead says about cardio.
Should you do cardio on a bulk? Like I said, everything is person specific, but if I had to give an overarching answer, it would be yes. The amount of calories you're gonna burn from doing 20 to 30 minutes of cardio is nowhere near what you can eat. You can have a bite of a sandwich and overcome the amount of calories you do over 20 minutes of cardio. So it's really nothing to be afraid of. A lot of people are like, I'm trying to eat huge. I don't want to do cardio because I don't want to sacrifice gains. That's complete bullshit. Unless you're running marathons or biking 2 hours fasted or doing anything, you're not going to be losing any muscle. There's a few tips that you can do. Like if you are doing fasted cardio because you love doing it in the morning, I would 100% recommend taking an amino before that, just so you're not burning through muscle. Your body at least kicks in protein synthesis. At least get 3 grams of leucine, 2 scoops of EAs or something, and you're good to go. In the years where I didn't do cardio, but I ate as much as I could, my appetite wasn't as good, and I put on fat quicker. Not muscle, but fat. When I was doing a good amount of cardio, I could eat more, I felt better, and my body was utilizing it for muscle better than it was at adding fat. So I just noticed a different body composition when I was choosing to do cardio in my off season.
So by doing cardio, we can remove waste products, get that blood flow going, we can increase our appetite, allowing us to eat more and get more jacked. And also, it has a benefit of making me a little bit more tired later in the day, ready for that sleep so I can sleep better. Speaking of which, I got to bed at around 8:20 something last night, which is ridiculously late for me. That's like most people's 2:45 a.m. So pretty much think about it like I got to bed at 2:45 a.m. last night. So today, it's 5:03 p.m. right now. I'm going to aim to get in bed at 6:55 p.m. tops. So I'm going to operate with a sense of urgency here. I'm going to get this vlog up. I'm going to get these mushroom lamps red. I'm going to take my magnesium glycinate, and I'm going to get to bed. Much love, y'all.